Today we're discussing Wile E. Coyote and the Road Runner, and joining us now is the grandson of Chuck Jones and the chairman of the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity, Craig Cousin.
Hey, Craig, thanks for being here today.
Hey, Bill and Toonie, great to be here.
Hey, do you ever refer to your grandfather as the great Chuck Jones like we do, or is it just Grandpa?
You know, he was never Grandpa. He was always Chuck. He said he never really wanted to be a grandpa. He just wanted to be Chuck to us. But for the great-grandchildren, he said, okay, I could be a great-grandfather as long as you put a comma after the great.
Oh, that worked out nicely.
Yeah, pretty close.
So, Craig, how did Chuck first come up with the characters of Road Runner and Wile E. Coyote?
So in Mike Maltese, one of his great writers back in the 40s, they were looking for a chase. And the Keystone Cops were chasing, Tom and Jerry were already chasing, and so he used to go to Arizona to go square dancing, and so we always saw the Roadrunners chasing each other around, and but they thought Roadrunners chasing Roadrunners may not be interesting, so he actually reached back into a book that he first read by Mark Twain when he was 7 years old, 30 years before, called Roughing It, and there was a description of a coyote in there. That starts out saying the coyote is a long, slim, sick, and sorry-looking skeleton with a gray wolfskin pulled over him, and there's a whole description in there. So they basically came up with the coyote. If you look at those first character drawings, it really is the description that came out of Mark Twain.
So despite their age, Craig, these characters, Wile E. Coyote and Road Runner, hold up so well. The cartoons are timeless. Explain that. How's that possible?
There's two things about it. One, that they had to make things that were funny, whether it was released right when they finished the film after creating them after 9 months, or it was released a year or two later. They never knew in the theaters when they were going to go out. So they had to make gags that were funny forever, and they just basically had no feedback other than the internal people. The second thing is that there is no dialogue. And people talk about how international these characters are, and since there's no dialogue, everybody gets it, even without any sort of translation.
Hey, Craig, TV Guide once included Wile E. Coyote on its list of the 60 nastiest villains of all time. Do you agree with that assessment?
The majority of people that I have talked to really care about the coyote more than they do about the Roadrunner. And the Roadrunner is really a force of nature. That's the way that Chuck really defined it, was that the Roadrunner wasn't really supposed to be antagonistic, but Wile E. Coyote only is a victim of his own devices. And so, you know, he keeps going back to the Acme Company, and so I wouldn't say he's a villain at all. He's a hungry, feeble coyote that is just looking for a meal.
Okay, Craig, I gotta ask you, or should I say, Mr. Chairman, what is the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity, and what do you guys do there?
In 1999, we founded an organization that primarily gave the opportunity for young people to find that inner creative genius that we all have inside. And so it's about allowing them to exercise that creative genius. And so that is what the Center for Creativity. We've got Southern California, we've got the Chicagoland area, we've got Central Florida, we've done programs in about 18 states and are continuing to expand. So the idea is to find that creative thinking that we all have and use it to better our lives.
We're appreciating that you spent some time with us today, Craig. It was an honor to meet you.
Great to meet you guys too.